Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So for today's video, I decided to do a full face of Essence makeup. Now, they have some good deals going on, okay? And I was actually quite surprised. I did go to Ulta and I did actually record for you guys. So I will play that clip now.
Alright, so we came to Ulta. We went straight to the Essence section and there was quite a good bit of stuff. So I'm gonna try to get stuff in like the order that I do my makeup. Looking at the primers that they had, nothing really caught my eye. I already have 2 primers at home from Essence, and I figured why spend the extra cash if we already got it at home. Now we gotta move on to foundation. Now the foundation section was not it. The shade range that they had was also not it. I did end up grabbing a concealer. Now those little small bronzers, I moved pretty fast. Those are dupes for the Makeup by Mario. Also the little blush sticks that they had. Now I was looking for a highlight. This is the only highlight that I could find, and it wasn't giving the highlight I like. So I did put that back and I ended up passing on highlight. Now mascaras, they had a lot of mascaras. Like, is it necessary for them to have this many mascaras? I don't know, but I did end up grabbing one. Here's the dupe for the Dior lip gloss, whatever it is. They also did have a big selection on eyeliners. I'm not a big fan of eyeliners. Now lip liners I will take 100%, but these 2 shades right here really caught my eye. They were like chromy. Now by this point I'm looking for the lip liners. I want to see what I have to work with. Now these liners right here are the more affordable liners. The shades were just not it. These were a little bit more expensive. I did grab one of those. Now setting spray. I completely forgot to get setting spray. Here you can see my hands were full. I don't know. I thought I grabbed it. I think I missed it because I literally just got up and walked away. In my mind I got it though. But let's move on.
Let's begin. Okay, so first off, let's point out the obvious. My eye is red. These LED lights are not helping. I'm gonna have to get like those blue light glasses. I don't know. So I didn't get primer there just because I do have 2 options at home. I'm gonna start off with the Hello Good Stuff. Now this one, as you guys can see, I have used it quite a good bit. I've said this multiple times. Now, this one is a close enough dupe for the Glow recipe. The smell and the glowiness is somewhat the same. The glow isn't as like extreme, you know, but it's there. So let's just apply this onto the face before we do anything else. Now, I've been debating whether to add primer on top of this. Should I add primer on top of this? I don't know. Now that we have that serum on the face, a lot of times I do use this as a primer, but for the sake of this video, I am gonna actually go in with another primer. I don't know if the 2 will mix good, but we're gonna give it a try. So I am gonna go in with this Essence. This is the Jelly Grip Primer. Now this is a dupe for the Milk, for the e.l.f. Essence Jelly Grip. So I'm going to add some on the face. How much did I spend on this Ulta run? Or my fiance? We spent $43.77. For foundation, let's go in with this one. I'm just realizing that it's already been open. Let's just keep going. This is their long-lasting foundation. I did actually get this one in shade 140 Caramel. Now their shade range is not it, okay? I don't know how many shades they had. You guys saw it was not enough. I feel like the 130 to 140 was missing like 2 shades in between. So I ended up getting the darker shade that was there, which actually you can't really tell, but it has a little bit more of an orangey tone. I don't know how this one will oxidize. Okay, I have quite a few opinions. First off, this is not my shade. Clearly, the coverage is actually quite nice. The texture itself is actually quite nice. Now, it does say that this is transfer and waterproof. So let's just keep going. Let's see if I'm able to fix this. Now we're gonna move in with the concealer. Now I did grab the same one that goes with the foundation. Now I did end up getting this one in a way lighter shade just in case this happened. So let's move on. This is in shade 60 light medium. Now, I have seen other people use this concealer and absolutely love it. I will say I am a fan of the wand. I am a sucker for wands. If there's a good wand, I'm here for it. Now, I'm just going to conceal everything that I normally conceal. I look crazy, but we're gonna keep going. Anyways, let's go ahead and do under the brows. I like these applicators because it literally makes it so easy to just go in and like carve under the brows. So this concealer actually does say that it is buildable, which I'm actually quite excited for. If it doesn't have the coverage I want, I can build it up. We'll see. Now, if I'm being honest, I feel like that just faded away. I feel like you can't even tell that I concealed under. Maybe you can. Me personally, I can't see anything under the eyes. Hopefully you can tell with the brows. I think you will be able to tell with the brows, but let's just keep going. I might go in a second time just to fully get that conceal under the eyes because I really like that bright under eye. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, if the foundation was my shade, would I like it? Yes. Actually, it's not bad of a foundation. And I only paid like $3 for it. Let's add more concealer. Alright, so now I'm just going to blend this out. Now we are getting some color. We're doing something right. How did this brighten so much more than the under eye? Okay, I'm gonna have to go in and kind of dab in a little bit more foundation because that looks crazy. So I'm actually just gonna go in twice. I'm not gonna do another third layer. I really want to, but I think we need to move on. So far for it being 2 times, it did not get cakey, it did not crease. Let's keep going. All right, so now let's go ahead and go on with blush. Now look how cute and tiny this was. Now I did want to get the matching bronzer that was there. I had one in my hand, and when we were about to leave, I was like, hold on, let me just make sure it wasn't smudged. It was smudged. Then I grabbed the other one. It was also smudged. I grabbed another one. It was also smudged. So there was only 3 of that shade, and the other one was a little bit too dark for me, so I just ended up passing on those. So I did end up getting a different bronze. But for blush, this was actually not touched. I did end up getting this one in shade 30 Rose All Day. And this one, I did see that is a dupe for the Makeup by Mario. So I'm actually quite excited to try. Now, I am always scared that these are going to pick up my makeup. You see that? Should we go in with a brush? Are you supposed to go directly on the skin? Are you supposed to just go first on the brush and then go on the skin? Like, let me know, because when I see people do this, they go directly on the skin and it blends out smoothly on their foundation. But I'm just gonna go in with a brush and then just mix in that blush. Just because I don't want to deal with my makeup picking up today. Now this has kind of, I want to say like a watermelon smell to it. It kind of has like a kid makeup smell to it. It's bringing back memories. And then, of course, we are going to add some on the tip of the nose because I love blush on the nose. Now, if you guys haven't heard it in my voice, I am a wee bit sick. Not sick, but I think these allergies are getting to me. Okay, I think before I could grab a handful of pollen and just, that's a little extreme. But I literally was never affected by pollen, but this year, it is awful, okay? And it has never hit me, and now I'm literally tearing up. My nose is not nosing. It's tough. But anyways, this is what the blush is looking like. I absolutely love this color. I love that it blended out so smoothly with a brush. I was kind of scared at first. Is this worth $5? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know below if this is worth it, because the shade is actually really pretty. Let me know below, because The shade is really pretty and it actually blended out quite nicely. And a little bit did kind of go a long way, but I wouldn't say it's, I don't know. But let's move on to setting powder. Now this one I'm actually quite excited for. I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of confused. I did end up getting the Flawless Skin Trio. Now what colors are there, you may ask? There is a bright lavender color. Next to it is a peach color. And then next to that one is a bubblegum pink color. Now, is this one for my shade? I don't know. As soon as I saw this, I knew I had to try it. Now, it doesn't come with a little powder puff. Hello. So let's go ahead and tap some on the lid. Get some in there. All right, look at that. I'm just gonna shimmy them all together. Or try to shimmy them all together. When I saw that Huda Beauty came out with that lavender kind of like setting powder, I really wanted to try it, especially because it looked really pretty under the eyes. Now, I'm actually gonna do two things. I'm going to put it on how I normally do. And then I'm gonna go in with a bigger brush and just apply it all over the face to set the whole makeup. So I just wanna see how it applies. I feel like this is not it. Okay, I'm sorry. This is not it for me. Let's just dip right in there and just apply this all over the face as we dust off the rest of it. Now, I know this is a setting powder, but this is like powdery, okay? I know I can't breathe right, but I know it's going up my nose. So we are gonna get up close and personal just to check up on how the makeup is doing. I wanna see how the foundation's looking, how the concealer's looking, especially now with the setting powder. So let's get up close and look. They are starting to crease a little bit under the eyes. It's not terrible, it's not awful. I wanna say that it's kind of blending in with that blush. Before the setting powder, I wanna say the blush looked really pretty, but you can kind of see it on the forehead now and on the chin. I look like I got really sunburnt, but let's keep going. Now this is 20 Sunkissed in California. Now this is a huge bronzer. This one does have a little bit of shimmer to it, a little bronzy. So let's go in and kind of just bronze that up. Now there is some products in here that I do want to try with other makeup products that I have, because I feel like they would just mix a lot better. And again, I think the fact that the foundation isn't my shade is kind of throwing me off. And honestly, it might be throwing you off as well. But like I said, their shade range was not it. As I'm trying to apply this, I already did my whole forehead. I did a little bit on the cheeks already, and I think you can kind of tell on the cheeks. I feel like you naturally have that kind of like shadow in that area. So I went back in, right? And I tried to apply some. And like, do you guys see anything? Like, I am picking it up. So now what I'm gonna do is with a Q-tip, I'm gonna try to take off as much product that I have on my brows. I meant to do this before the foundation, but since I'm not used to this step, I always forget. But we're gonna do brows now. Now for brows, I'm gonna go in with this one right here. This is the Fix It Like a Pro. Now this is a transparent brow gel. It says it's extra strong. We'll test that out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add this all over the brows. Now, before I started trying all the makeup, I kind of was thinking, I was like, is Essence the new e.l.f.? Because they're so affordable. And e.l.f. is starting to raise their prices. Now, guys, with this economy, I don't blame them. But they used to be way more affordable than what they are now. I think right now they range from $2 to $15. And before it would be way less than that. I feel like 10 would be the most, or maybe even less. I understand they're growing. their makeup is actually good quality. All right, so we are gonna let the brows dry, and I am gonna go in and just move them around, test them out with you guys, and let's see. While we wait, let's go ahead and do lashes. So I'm gonna go ahead and curl the lashes. Now, while I'm curling the lashes, let's talk about highlight. I couldn't find any good highlight. The only little highlight that they had was that round thing that I showed you guys, and it really wasn't speaking to me. I was like, this is not it. Now let's go in with mascara. So I heard you, girly. This was actually recommended by one of my subscribers. I still get really shy. But this is the Call Me Queen. I hope this is the one you were talking about. This is the only queen one that there was. But this is the waterproof. If you guys know, waterproof mascara on me are like, I love waterproof mascara. Now, this is what the wand looks like. Now let's go right in. Okay. This mascara, stunning. And I actually really like the formula of this. It's like thick, but it's not too thick, and it's not watery, and it's like in the middle of thickness and watery, or watery and thickness. I don't know which way it goes. It actually is not bad. Now we're gonna wait and see. Let's do a little drip test, and let's see if it makes my lashes droop or it's actually really good. So now let's move on to the lips. I'm actually quite excited for this. This says it is an 8-hour matte. This one is in shade Cinnamon Spice. Now, I love myself a good brown liner. Is this a good shade for me? I don't know. Let's see. I know this is so random, but me just breathing in all of that setting powder, just a quick reminder, before you go out, always remember to wipe off your baby hairs and your nose. There's times where I completely forget and I can just see powder in my nose, but I'm here for you, okay? I'm your reminder. Let's go in with lip liner. Now the shade is a little too light for me. It's a little different than what I thought. No, my foundation is orange. I literally can change with the whole color theory, but we're just gonna keep going. Now with that, I ended up getting the matching lipstick. This one also says it's 8-hour matte, and this is their liquid lipstick. Now this is what the applicator looks like. Now this one again is in shade Cinnamon Spice. So let's just go right in. Now, the color is definitely not for me. I do want to say that it does feel very velvety on the lips. It is actually starting to dry, and it is not sticky. A lot of matte lipsticks are sticky. This one is not sticky. Now, if I had the option to go get a different shade, hands down, I'm getting a different shade. Still not sticky, okay? Like I said real quick, this is what the makeup looks like. Now, am I happy with this makeup look? Definitely not. A few things that I actually did really like is the concealer, the mascara, and I also really liked the blush. Now, before I can make up my mind about the brows, let's go ahead and see. The brows is actually not bad. Now, the lashes also, they didn't droop. Lips, still not sticky. The foundation overall is not bad. I really like the formula. I like the way it dried. I like the coverage as well. I did not like the shade range. The shade overall that I picked, that's on me. But like I said, from 130 to 140, there was a huge gap that they could have added at least 2 to 3 more shades, not counting the whole selection that they had. Overall, literally, I absolutely love the primers. This is the first time that I'm using both together, and honestly, I think they work very well together. Now, what I didn't like, definitely the setting powder. The setting powder definitely made the look not look good. Was it for my skin tone? I don't know. The bronze, I feel like did absolutely nothing for my forehead. I don't know. I didn't even get to do the nose because it just wasn't it. But real quick, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you don't subscribe, how else will you find me? And I make videos like these quite often. Anyways, guys, I will catch you in the next video.